how would you teach a child to learn to love God and Jesus sincerely without feeling obligated or forced?
I don't think you should force kids to go to church. I think you should force kids to be the church. Because that means you are forcing yourself to be the church. Here's what being the church is. You pour into people. You make disciples. You evangelize. You do these things. I think it starts with you, and it starts with you modeling what following Jesus looks like. You are the greatest example of Jesus to your kids. I know you think that it's the kids' team. I know you think that it's pastors, but it's you. You will be the example of Jesus that they follow. And so, number one, make sure that you are following Jesus, that you are modeling Jesus. If your kids only ever see you raise hands at church but throw hands at home, there's a problem. You have to model what following Jesus looks like. And the only way that you can model it is by actually following Jesus. And in that, somebody asked us in the first service, and I think it's the perfect question to kind of tag onto this, is they said, how do I talk to my kids about the reality of hell?
I was looking for that question.
And number one goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. It's not a scare tactic. You don't scare a kid into behaving by scaring them with hell. Doesn't work. They're just going to think you're lying. But you do talk to them. You tell them the truth. You model it and you tell them the truth. Kids are smarter than you think they are. And one of the things that I tell our kids team all the time, and Kaylee and Nicole can attest to this, I tell them all the time, we do not teach kids where they are, we teach them where we want them to be. It's the same with your kids. Teach them where you want them to be, not where they are. You want them to have room to grow. If you're only trying to ever teach them where they are, you're going to suppress their spiritual growth. Here's another example I'll give you. My kid's too young to learn about sex. My kid's too young to learn about this, about that. I had a parent get very upset with me when I was a youth pastor a few years ago because I preached a message about sex. And my child doesn't know anything about that. Well, first of all, I said, you're lying because I've talked to your son. He knows, trust me. But secondly, here's my question. Do you think Satan thinks your child is too young? No. So why in the world would you be willing to hold off on having a biblical, godly conversation with your child about a specific issue when Satan has no problem with the other side?
It's true.
Be honest. Be real. Don't be afraid to have tough conversations with your